Hey. So I decided I would do a little bit of a hot take on the Khloe Kardashian, Tristan Thompson situation. I figured with this being a channel about breakups and dating and all of that good stuff and stress management, that I could talk about this kind of from a real world perspective, or the average person, average woman's perspective. What I mean is, I guess I should start with the fact that I don't follow Tristan, Khloe, Kim, K to the fifth power, and all of them at all. So I know very little about them. I literally had to Google some things before I hopped on this here video. And in my Google search, I found out that Tristan is 31 and Khloe is 38. So I don't doubt that that plays a factor in this whole situation. But ultimately, through seeing comments on these articles and getting information from friends or friends sending me things, I saw various opinions and then I had thoughts. Two things really come to mind for me and in my conversations with friends regarding why Khloe might have chosen to do this. But really, ultimately, I don't claim to know what Khloe or Tristan or either of them were thinking or are thinking or how they're feeling. But I do think there are some things that are applicable here to the average woman. And so this idea of why someone would choose to knowingly have another child with their fuckboy ex, I actually think it's more common than people would think it is. And whenever someone is making choices or behaving in a way that seems odd on the surface, I think it's always helpful to consider what might be going on for them. Therapist, always therapizing. But I'm always considering, what is this person's motivation for seemingly ridiculous behavior? And two things that have come up. Friends have mentioned to me the idea of Khloe wanting to have both of her children have the same father. And then another thing that also came up to me, or that I thought about, was the idea of her likely having a time frame in which she wanted to have another child. And since she's 38 years old, that is a real thing for her to be thinking about. So between those two things, I think that they actually end up being logical reasons for people to make a decision like this. But I am curious. In the comments, let me know other reasons that come to mind for you as to why someone might choose to have another child with their mess of an ex. Or maybe you yourself have been in this position and have your reasoning. I'd love to hear. So to point number one, for the possibility of her wanting all her children to have the same father, this is an idea and a philosophy that a number of people hold, where it's important to them, whether for religious reasons, societal reasons, family reasons, etc. It's important to them that their children all have the same father. And to a significant enough extent that they would choose to continue to procreate with this person who they acknowledge is not a good partner. Some people will choose to do that while being with that person. Others will choose to do that by openly acknowledging that they are not partnered with that person anymore, other than for the purposes of co-parenting. And from that perspective, it's logical based on someone's philosophies and beliefs and values. So that is one thing that plays out, for some people. And to this idea of keeping the same father for all of your children, what has been brought up also is the fact that Khloe's other sisters, all of their children are by the same, have the same father. And so it might be something within the family, messages that they've received growing up or have been explicitly told. So the second point being, if someone knows that they want to have X number of children by a certain time in their life, then they really are having to look at time. And so with Khloe being 38, she, is right on that wonderful biological clock, and I don't know if she wants more children than the two that she will have. But that is a real factor. And so to that, people can often choose to go with the person who is there and convenient and, you know, willing and able to have that child, and someone who they know and likely care for and all of that stuff. And so there's also that aspect of, you know, does she want to, you know, go back out and search for and find another person to build some form of relationship with, and determine if she feels that they will be a appropriate parent for her second child or not. Like, does she want to go through that process? Does she feel like she has the time? Any of those things. So those are two, I think, glaring kind of obvious points as to why someone might do this. Because by all means, I do not claim to know what is going on in Khloe's mind. I can speculate around various things, such as emotional attachment to her ex, self-esteem concerns, time, all the things. But the reality is that she's doing it. Granted, when I read an article, I saw that the baby was conceived before she found out about Marley Nichols. Had to Google her too. Before she found out about the baby with that woman, so that this was also already in the works. And so it was kind of like, no turning back now. But so who knows? Would she have done this if she had known about that baby, even though she had known about all the cheating before and still made the decision? I don't know. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. But it is a real thing for people who want to have multiple children to choose to have them with the same person, no matter what. With the idea of, like, your role in my life is that of co-parent, so let's do it and keep it moving, regardless of your reasons for why you choose to have, you know, multiple children with a partner who isn't right for you. Ultimately, you are left with the consequences of that decision, positive consequences as well as negative consequences. And so for a lot of people, I mean, it just comes down to what everybody is willing and able to tolerate. What I mean is, for some people, if they have that belief of, you know, I want my children to all have the same father, or I'm on a, you know, a ticking time clock and I want a certain number of children, or there's a particular time in their life because of other circumstances like career or anything else, there's a certain time in their life that they want to be having these kids. Regardless of their reasons for it, you know, some people will be able to tolerate choosing to co-parent with someone who is not a good partner for them, and therefore, like, their ex. Whereas other people, that would be too much of a struggle. And it also depends, of course, on your relationship with that ex, your connection to that ex. How emotionally attached or dependent are you on that ex? Where are the boundaries between you guys as to how you are able to co-parent in a healthy manner, knowing that there was so much turmoil and drama between you guys. So plenty of people would not be able to tolerate that. And also plenty of people would feel that because they don't care for their ex and they maybe have negative opinions of their ex in this situation, that they also carry that over to their concerns of trusting that person as a parent and deciding that, hey, I don't want to actively choose or knowingly choose to bring another child into this world with you, knowing how you function as a person. And that can be, you know, a struggle between people making a crossover from someone being a partner to them, a romantic partner to them, versus a parent to their children. They are two different roles. And someone can be a great parent and a crap husband or girlfriend or anything. They can be a great partner, romantic partner, and not be such a great parent. So the reality is that it can be hard for a lot of people to hold both of those realities at the same time. That someone can be great in this area and not so great in this other area. I don't claim to know whether Khloe feels that Tristan is a great father or not. I'm sure it's been spoken at some point in tabloids and on the internet somewhere that I'm not going searching for. But, you know, maybe there's a sense of that for her. Like, she feels that, you know, he's a good enough father that, and, you know, with her priorities, whatever they may be, that, hey, she went for it. But nonetheless, to each his or her own. I just wanted to kind of make the point that, like, because when I was reading through the comments, people were just kind of like, oh, she's doing it again. Oh, she's doing it again. And I had that same initial reaction, like, oh, boy, okay, cool. And then I immediately went to, like, what is going on here for her? What is the motivation here? And there are some realistic motivations for this that the average woman chooses to do. So there you have it. That's my hot take on the Khloe Kardashian, Tristan Thompson Hot Mess Express. Enjoy. Please comment your thoughts, opinions, ideas, considerations, things that I didn't mention. Share, please. I'm very curious.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to click the link to join my email list. See you soon.
That's my hot take on the Khloe Kardashian, Tristan Thompson hot mess of a train wreck. Hot